it's me, what was that? Anyways, this is a different kind of video than what I usually do. It's my face, it's a wall. No, it's not turning into a vlogging channel or anything like that. It's still a gaming channel. You might say, because I pretty much post only gaming videos now. I'm sorry. I promised I'd post American Girl doll videos, but none of you watched them. It was mostly me viewing my video 500 times. But if you haven't watched my latest American Girl doll video, it's actually not that old, but anyways, it's from Valentine's Day. We're off that topic. Today, we're talking about something that's pretty important in this world, and that is books. And I love books, so I thought that I might as well make a video about books, and just so you know, no books were really harmed in the making of this video, except for maybe like 4. Yeah, 4 is probably the proper amount of books that I probably just murdered. But other than that, no other books were really killed. During this video, you might realize that my hair, it likes to do this, and I'll have to do this a lot. And after, like, looking back, I just scratched my face, yes. But after looking back at the recording, I'll realize my hair was being a jerk during the entire thing. Live with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. It's my hair. I hate it too. I hate it just as much as you hate it. It's weird, okay? So, yeah. Okay, so now getting on to the actual topic of this video, or the actual point of this video, books. There's many books that I like to read. I've read many books in my booking lifetime. Actually, throughout kindergarten, I hated to read. I wasn't that great of a reader, and it took me some time to get into reading. During most of my elementary school years, well, not most, but all the way all the way up to like 4th, maybe like 3rd grade, I only read like Junie B. Jones books, mostly because I hated to read, and I didn't really understand most books that I read. But I started, but I was never like a low level reader, and I've always like kind of excelled at reading, weirdly, I don't know, but I thought I was terrible at it, so I kind of never like went out of my comfort zone. But in 4th more like 4th, 3rd grade, I traveled out of the Junie B. Jones section because it kind of forced you to. They said, hey, kids, you're in 3rd grade now. Stop reading kindergarten books. And so they made you read normal books. And so there's someone outside. Yeah, there's someone outside. Okay. But ever since then, I'm in love with reading, and I'm an accelerated reading. My reading level is like above most people in my grade level. Yeah. So, I want to talk to you about, I just keep seeing cars outside. I want to tell you some series that I've read, and some books, like these 2 books. Some people aren't that great at reading, but they still like to read. So these are 2 great books that you can read that I would totally recommend because they are great stories. So let's start off with All the Lovely Bad Ones. Okay, so All the Lovely Bad Ones is it's a great book. It actually took me a while to get into it, because the cover always kind of creeped me out, so I was like, warning, don't read this book. I don't know why I just did that. You might realize that during my videos, I'm not going to cut out anything. This is all one take, or mostly one take. Mostly. Anyways, so it's by Mary Downing Hahn. On the cover it says, "A spooky, a fine, scary tale for a campfire" by New York Times book review. It's not long at all, really. It's 182 pages long. This is the font size. Font size is a big deal to me. The tinier the font, the better. That's personally my preference. I like it when books have smaller fonts. The book that I'm currently reading is this font. I don't know, and it's this thick. It's like, I don't know how many pages. I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, the back of it says, Travis and his sisters Corey can't resist a good trick, but when they learn about the grandmother's quiet Vermont Inn, they're spending time, they're spending is somewhere in the history of ghost sightings. They decide to do a little haunting of their own, but their supernatural pranks awaken something dangerous, something that should have been stayed asleep. Only Travis and Corey can lay to rest the spiteful spirits they have stirred. This means discovering the new secrets of Fox Hill and the horrors visiting abandoned on its inhabitants years before. It's a fast-paced book. It's a fast-paced ghost story. Then it says, I'm done with the lovely bad ones. I recommend it. It's a pretty easy book, but it's still a good book. Read it. Radiance, I bought it from my like a school book fair. By the way, there's a bunch of great books that I don't own, but these are just some of the books that I own. It's by Alison Noel, and I know this book was really popular. Font, you can see how it's kind of laid out. I've just flipped to chapter 10. It's pretty short. There's a second book. I don't remember when it came out. Maybe like last year, if I remember, but I didn't, or 2 years ago. I didn't buy it. It's 178 pages long. It's a really good book, by the way. Riley has crossed the bridge into an afterlife, a place called here, where the time is now. She's picked up a life where she left off when she is alive, living with her parents and a dog in a nice house in a nice neighborhood. When she's summoned before the council, she learns that afterlife isn't just an of leisure. She's been assigned a job, soul catcher, and a teacher Botai, and a possibly cute, seemingly nerdy boy who's definitely hiding something. They return to Earth together for Riley's first assignment, a radiant boy who's haunting a castle in England for centuries. Many soul catchers have tried to get him across the bridge and failed, but all that was before he met Riley. I hope my face is not like swaying off the side, but yeah, it's a great book. Let's get on to. I'm going to keep this short and simple. If you don't know what Death Note is an anime that I love. If you don't know who Beyond Birthday is a character of Death Note, but he's not in the anime, and he's not in the manga. He's a murderer. If you don't like blood and gore and all that creepiness, I don't recommend this book. If you haven't watched or read Death Note, then do not read this book. It won't make any sense to you, but if you're into death, I'm not really like, oh yeah, death, but if you're into that kind of stuff, like that kind of, like, I guess, books wise, or like anime, then go watch it, and then read this book. There's no back, there's nothing I can really describe to you, but it's just, Death Note, Another Note, the Los Angeles BB murder cases. I found it really interesting. It's 176 pages long, so it's not very long at all. I bought it at Barnes & Noble. It was like $20, so I really liked it. Hope you guys will too. And now we're on to the next book I have with me, which will tie together with a couple other books. And then I'll also tell you about a few other books that I don't have with me since I borrowed them from my school library. And I borrowed a couple from my friends and stuff like that. So yeah. I just realized that the camera wasn't pointed towards me during most of this video, so it's kind of off to the side. Oh well, the next series is Unwind. I have the third book with me. There's 4 books. The 4th book is coming out in summer of 2014. That was not that hard to remember. But, it's a great book. It's about, like, to describe on top of my head the series, it's, well, on the back it says, Unwind, a gripping, brilliantly imaged, futuristic thriller, could hardly be more engrossing or better aimed to teens. I find it a very interesting book. I read it like 4 years ago, and just last year I read the 2nd book, and now finally I'm getting to read the 3rd book, and actually it's not that old. You can buy all 3 at Barnes & Noble. Is there someone outside? Just sum it up, you can, this plot in the 1st book, people, you have your children, your soulmates, your children, and you can basically say bye-bye kids and send them away, and where they will take your kids to these places called where like people like police officers, technically parole officers, will take your children and they'll give you money or something. I believe yeah, they'll give you money, and I think they'll give me money. Unless I'm not remembering properly, but they give me money, I think. And they take your children to harvest camps where they will eventually disconnect all of your body parts and your muscles and all your this, and essentially they're killing you. But technically, it's not murder because they're keeping all of it. Somehow they preserve it, so they're keeping all of your body parts alive, just separated. And so you're separated into like a billion different parts, but your soul is basically dead. So you're not you. You as a person is dead. And what they do with your body parts is that they use it for like transplants, and like say like someone's like in the war and they lost an arm. They'll take your arm from you, like saying that you're the unwound teen, and they'll pop it onto the army soldier. Yeah, it's kind of gross and it's very sad. And what the main characters do, they escape and they become AWOL, Unwind, and there's so much. I don't want to give away anything, but I definitely recommend this book with all my heart. This entire series with all my heart. And on to the next series that you probably all know about. So a series that you probably all are hearing about because a movie's coming out for it. It's Divergent, and I am so ashamed in the actors that they picked for Divergent. Tobias does not look like the Tobias I pictured. He's too old looking, and oh no, I'm not gonna watch that movie. Or I might, just to see how bad they did it. But I personally love Divergent. If you don't know what Divergent is, it's so hard to explain. But to sum it up, when you are like 16, they're living in a city, and it's like Hunger Games factions, but it's not faction. Wait, no, it is factions. It's like Hunger Games districts. Sorry, I'm messing up my grammar of books. But it's all the districts are in like a city, and there's only four factions. No, five. I don't know. And basically, there's Amity, there's Dauntless, there's Erudite, there's Abnegation, and there's Candor. So there's 5. And basically, Candor is about never telling lies, all that, being straight and honest. Amity is about being kind and peaceful. Erudite's all about smarts and stuff. Dauntless is just like, yeah, toughness. Let's go jump off the building together, guys. Survive it. Woo! Jump off the train. Let's go jump in the chasm. Yeah, that sounds fun. And then Abnegation is where the main character comes from, and it's all about like they can't wear certain clothing. Like they have to like cover up like all their skin. They have to wear all gray, and they can't have like any house decoratives, and they can't look in the mirror, and they have to be like completely like modest, and they have to like only care about others and not themselves. And basically what they can do is when they turn 16 or whatever, they have their these tests, the aptitude tests, and it will determine what faction they think that you belong in. And spoiler, not really spoiler, but the main character finds out that she is a Divergent, and Divergent means that you would belong into multiple factions. And then so her choice is to what faction to go into when she's 16. Stay in her faction with her family, go into a faction that she also is suited for. I don't want to like blow anything. You probably you all already know about what happens, possibly. Like, yeah, this is a great book series. I've finished reading it, and it's so sad. Such an emotional roller coaster, but I love it. So we have 2 more series. Hopefully I have enough memory on my camera. I better have enough memory, but I have to hurry up. Itching my collarbone. Anyways, the next 2 series we're going to talk about and try to hurry it up is Everlost. There's too many series. Okay, I'm just gonna list a bunch of series that you should read. You should also read the main. The Maze Runner, it's a great series. I've read the prequel too. It's just, if you have not considered reading it, read it. Go on the Wikipedia page and search about it. Don't watch out for spoilers though. There's also Birthmarked. I need to read the second book, but I recommend that too. There's also Enclave or Enclave, whatever you want to pronounce it. It's also a great book. There's also a second book for it, and I believe a third book. Totally recommend it. Second book is called Outpost. There's also the Everlost series. That's by Neil Shusterman as well, and I can't tell you how much I also love that book. Neil Shusterman's just great. Skinjacker trilogy, it's great. I would definitely recommend reading it. It's a very creative book, and that's why I love Neil Shusterman. He's not afraid to go out of the box thinking, and his books aren't like The Hunger Games or anything like that, as people like to compare all the books to, and I don't know why, because I'm not a big fan of The Hunger Games. So yeah, but it's just, his books are very unique to me, and I just love them. Also, a great book is Overboard. I read that book when I was in 5th grade, and I even I can't speak. I even emailed the author, and she replied to me, and it was really cool. And yeah. Last but not least is The Knife of Never Letting Go. I still need to finish reading the second book, but it's great. It's great. So, yeah. We're going to say goodbye to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, yeah.